Okay, so everyone, am I audible? Apakah suara saya terdengar dengan jelas? Jelas
Halo.
Kak, jelas Kak.
Oke, baik.
Dengar Kak.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat siang teman-teman semua. Selamat datang di acara Quality Assurance Automation Testing Fundamental with Selenium for webinar yang diadakan oleh Jakarta Labs. Nah, izinkan saya untuk memperkenalkan diri. Perkenalkan, nama saya Tata yang akan menjadi Master of Ceremony pada webinar kali ini. Wah, luar biasa ya antusias teman-teman semua hari ini. Sudah banyak banget yang hadir dan masih banyak lagi yang menunggu di waiting room. Baik. Nah, buat teman-teman semua yang hadir, mungkin masih penasaran ya, sebenarnya itu apa sih Jakarta Labs? Oke, Mr. Chandan. Halo, Mr. Chandan.
Halo,
Halo, Mr.
halo
Chandan.
guys, halo Data.
Hi. I'm actually quite having a technical issue with my laptop, so I cannot share screen.
Yeah, can you make me host or give me access to share screen?
Okay. Okay, Mr. Chandan, sure. Okay, so before we go into the session itself, kayaknya kita harus kenalan dulu nih ya sama Jakarta Labs ya. Sebenarnya tuh Jakarta Labs itu apa sih, Kak? Gitu. Nah, teman-teman semua yang hadir hari ini dan penasaran dengan Jakarta Labs atau PT Belajar Berkarya Berbagi adalah platform yang menyediakan pelatihan di industri teknologi untuk membantu para penggemar teknologi seperti kita di sini membekali diri dan membantu para penggemar teknologi ini untuk bisa beradaptasi di dunia teknologi yang makin cepat. Karena kita memiliki ambisi bahwa semua itu bisa belajar teknologi. Maka dari itu Jakarta Labs mengemas kembali pendidikan teknologi yang cocok untuk semua orang. Nah, jadi untuk siapapun yang ingin belajar tentang QA automation, UI UX, data analytics, dan sebagainya, Jakarta Labs akan menjadi pilihan yang tepat buatmu karena kita menyediakan kelas dan kursus dari level yang beginners hingga level expert. Dan yang masih penasaran dengan kelas atau kursus dan webinar lain yang diadakan oleh Jakarta Labs, langsung saja bisa cek di Instagram kami di @jakartalabs. Baik, tadi kita sudah membahas tentang Jakarta Labs. Nah, hari ini kita akan membahas banyak nih tentang Quality Assurance Automation Testing Fundamental with Selenium 4. Oke, nah hari ini kita tentunya kedatangan pembicara yang sangat luar biasa. Dan pembicara kita ini datang jauh-jauh dari luar negeri dengan pengalaman bertahun-tahun di bidangnya, yaitu kita akan kedatangan Mr. Chandan Mishra sebagai Lead SDET at Credivo dan QA Head Trainer at Jakarta Labs. Dan tentunya Mr. Chandan ini yang tadi sudah saya sebutkan ya, datang jauh dari luar negeri, bertahun-tahun di bidangnya pengalamannya. Dan sesi hari ini akan disampaikan dalam dua bahasa teman-teman, yaitu bahasa Indonesia dan bahasa Inggris. Namun jangan khawatir, karena teman-teman masih boleh kok bertanya-tanya dalam bahasa Indonesia. Okay, without further ado, let's welcome our one and only Mr. Chandan. Hello, Mr. Chandan. Am I audible, Mr. Chandan?
Yeah, yes. Thank you, Data.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. I only know. Yeah.
Hi, Mr. Chandan.
Hello,
How's your
Data.
day? How's your weekend?
Good. How are you guys? Everyone good?
Yes, we're
Good.
doing great. Okay,
Cool.
Mr. Chandan, can you start share screen? I already make you as a co-host.
Yeah.
Sure.
So can you guys confirm you can see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen, Mr. Chandan. Hopefully you're doing great this weekend. Okay, for the session, to Mr. Chandan, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you. Okay, guys, so my name is Chandan Mishra, as already told by Tata, right? So right now I'm working with Credivo. You may have used the Credivo app, right? Buy Later Pay Now app. I'm working as a lead SDET there. Also, I'm acting as a QA head trainer in Jakarta lab for all the QA related trainings. Okay. If you want, you can find me on LinkedIn and Instagram. LinkedIn for professional stuff. I'm posting a lot of things here. And if you, after this webinar, want to ask some questions or related to career or anything related to testing and automation, you can just ask me on LinkedIn, right? So about Jakarta Labs, I believe I don't know much Bhasha, but I believe Tata is already told everything about Jakarta Labs, right, Tata?
Yes, Mr. Chandan, I already explained before.
Yeah. So basically, we started this few years ago, where we believe that the trainings in Indonesia is not up to the mark based on the industry standard. So what we are doing is we are hiring a lot of industry standard people to deliver trainings on various sectors, specialists, especially in IT sector, and we try to train people from different backgrounds also. So we have seen people from pharmacy background, people from let's say other background related to IT, freshers in the IT industry. We have seen they have taken over training and took the next step and got the jobs in the companies like Mandiri Bank, right? So we deliver trainings in various courses, be it machine learning, QA automation, QA testing, Java, Python, right? Full stack engineer, cyber security. Okay, so in everything, do you really want to see my video? Maybe later on in
If that's
Q&A
okay,
section.
Mr. Chandan.
Okay, maybe later on in QA section, we will talk face to face. Okay. Yeah, so for me, in terms of experience, I'm working in the industry for 9+ years now. My specialization is in UI automation, API automation, and performance testing. So these are the different kinds of tool I have worked with in different companies. I also, for the last 5 years, I'm giving trainings on all those things. So you can find my courses on Udemy and our popular courses related platform, apart from Jakarta Labs also. And then again, lot of our courses are also present on Jakarta Lab management portal. Yeah, so before we start, so these are the Zoom guidelines. So as I said, if you are joining, please try to remain in mute so that other people can listen what I have to say, or whatever we are doing, they can perform it. Otherwise, we see a lot of background noises. If you have any questions, try to ask in chat, right? So keep yourself as a mute, so that if you have any question in Bhasha or as in English, if it is in Bhasha, Tata will help me to translate and I will answer, and then Tata will again act as a translator. Turn off your video because I know in Indonesia bandwidth is kind of slow, right? Because I used to live there at that time, I found that the bandwidth is quite low. So you see that a lot of participants are here, more than 50 right now. So if everybody has a video on, so it will take a lot of bandwidth from your side. So you turn your video off for now, and then in the Q&A section we can have it on and then discuss the constant questions and answers. So if it is really important question and cannot be asked in chat, or I'm not able to understand the question, then there is a hand raise functionality. Okay, you would see this in Zoom chat management window, right? So there you can raise a hand, and then I will try to answer if it is not able. If I'm not able to understand the question from chat box or from the translation itself. In chat box, don't create extra noise. So keep chat box limited to your questions only, so that once we go through the question, we don't see any hi, hello, or any extra content there. Okay. Okay, so now this is important for hands-on, because this is a hands-on session. So I will recommend you, if you have a two screen, have it as a separate screen. One screen where you can see what we are doing, and the second screen you can perform those actions which we are doing, right? In case you don't have it, like in case you only have one screen, so there is a way you can split your screen into two parts, okay, by using window and arrow button left or right. So when I say window left, it will split into these two screens, okay, left and right. So now what I can do, I can view all these things in here and perform my actions here, or I can view Zoom related stuff here and perform my actions here. Okay, it's your choice how you want to proceed. Okay, but I would I would highly recommend, if you have two screens, set it up right now as a display monitor, and then in one screen you have your Zoom and second screen you have your code editor. Okay, any questions so far on anything? If everything clear, just type 1 in chat.
No.
I think there's no further question, Mr. Chandan. You may
Clear, okay.
continue. Sure.
Okay, so this is the agenda for this session. So we are trying to cover most of the things on newly released Selenium version, Selenium 4. A lot of people may not know that the Selenium has recently released Selenium 4 version. For past 3-4 years, it was Selenium 3, right? And then they have released Selenium 4. Now on this webinar, we are trying to cover one test case, end-to-end test case using Selenium 4. Okay, so starting from scratch, we will set up a Selenium 4 project. Then we will understand the first test case. Then we will understand how to find locators on that pages, right? And then these are the two main features we will cover. These are the big two features released in Selenium 4: relative locators and Chrome DevTools. Okay, once we go in those slides, I will try to cover more on that. Okay. Okay, let's start. Hopefully everyone is ready. Okay, so these are the requirements when you register.
Sorry, Mr. I have a problem to download Java.
Okay.
I can, yes. Jadi so I can install in my laptop. So can you help me?
Yeah, can you, if it is quick, I can help, and but if it is takes time, maybe later on. But can you share quickly?
Okay.
For other people, please try to configure Java and Eclipse. I believe we have already given your links. You can download. You have downloaded and set up. So hopefully you are ready. People who are not ready, if it is quickly solvable, I will try to solve. But if it takes time due to like any laptop issue or something, then we can give you the webinar later on, and you can set it up.
Okay.
Who has the issue? Can you share?
Hello.
There is a share screen button in the bottom.
Baik.
Can you help?
Untuk yang memiliki trouble, atas nama siapa? Apakah bisa untuk share screen?
Iya, saya ini sih masih lama download aplikasinya, Kak. Gitu.
Oke, baik.
Soalnya saya pakai, kan tadi yang di-share itu kan pakai Windows ya, buat Eclipse Windows. Nah, ini saya pakai MacBook, Mbak. Gitu. Jadi kayak
baik.
belum ready gitu. Nggak apa-apa sih, asal ngikutin aja. Aplikasinya masih proses download ya.
Baik.
Gitu.
Baik, berarti apakah sudah boleh untuk dilanjutkan?
Oke,
atau mau share screen?
Lanjutin aja nggak apa-apa, Kak.
Oke, baik. Terima kasih banyak, Kak Amel. Okay, Mr. Chandan, so I think our participant is actually having a lot of technical issue, but it's okay if you want to continue to do the session.
Yeah, because the session is for only 1 hour, right? We actually do solve these issues in longer trainings, like 6 to 8 hours training. That's what I'm saying. If it is a large issue, then maybe later on. If it is like a quick fix, then I can take a look. Right. So Java 8 and above, I think we have given the link for Java as well as for IntelliJ or Eclipse. I think Eclipse we have given the link. So this is what Eclipse looks like. Okay. And you have, if you have set it up Java properly, you can search CM. You can just run the command window and R and run the CMD prompt. If you're on Linux, you can just run it on terminal. Okay, Linux or Mac. And just check if Java is properly configured by using this command java-version. Okay. I'm giving the command in the chat box also. And for this particular session, we're gonna use a platform called CodeShare to collaborate on. Oh, CodeShare is not working. Give me a second, guys.
It's okay, Mr. Chandan, take your time.
Code share is not working. Okay, this should work. So you can open this in your link, and whatever I will do, I will try to copy paste here. Can you guys confirm you can see Java version here when you open this link? One or two people can confirm. Cool. So whatever I will do in my machine, I will try to copy paste here. So if you are like slightly slower to write code or something, you can try it out by copy paste from here. Okay. So this is like a code share platform. Like we can collaborate with each other using code here. Like there are a lot of tools I used to use code share, but today it is not working. So we'll use code file. Okay. So the requirement is, I think, Java. I think if you see the result, the Java is correctly configured. IntelliJ or any code editor, prefer IntelliJ for automation stuff. So this is what it looks like after you have installed it. You may see a welcome screen in the initial part, but if you don't have it, no issues. Okay. So this is where we create our project and write our code. In terms of this webinar, we will be using Selenium, but I will be doing all these things live. So there is no need to set up anything here, but you only need Java 8 and Java IDE. Okay, guys. Okay, so this is what it first test case will try to automate this end-to-end test case using Selenium 4 features. All right. So if you notice that when you are working in automation, you are trying to automate a test case, right? Either it is written in some Excel sheet or some test management portal like TestRail. But what you are trying to recreate is that whatever is written in step-by-step test steps section, you are trying to do same things via scripts in here, via coding. Either programming language can be anything like Java, JavaScript, or Python. Selenium supports all those programming language. For this workshop, we're going to use Java. And then whatever it is done here is possible through Selenium commands. We will learn about all those commands which are used here. Okay. So as you can see, the first thing is open web page. So we're going to do the demo in this website, Test Automasi. This is a website for training and testing purposes. So kind of a testing project. So what we are trying to do is basically open this website. So consider this a project and then click on the login link. This is the login link. We're trying to get that our login is working correctly for a particular user. This is our test case. So now we will try to add username and password. For this purpose, we will be using full stack demo. Okay. And then we will click on login button. Now what we are verifying is this particular username, okay, is equal to the username which we have used in the login section. Okay. So this will verify that the user logged in with the correct credential. The username is correctly displayed on the profile page. Okay. So these are the two things we are trying to verify with this test case. Everyone understood the test case? So basically open our website, go to the login page, login with valid credential. On profile page, verify the username is correct and print console logs for every step. This is what we are trying to do. What I mean by console logs, so when you visit this, inspect this page, in the console section, you see all these logs. So these logs are very important in case of errors, okay? But for this particular demo, what I'm trying to show is print everything. And then if you want, you can filter it only errors, you can filter it by only warnings and so on. But Selenium does provide to get all these logs. Okay, clear? Any questions on this scenario?
Clear, Mr.
Let me tell you again, for people who are new, what we are doing is we are trying to verify that the login is logged in with correct credential and then profile page username is correct.
Yes.
So we are opening the website, then clicking on login link, then entering a correct credential here, which is full stack demo. You can mute yourself after asking. And then click on login and verify that this full stack demo is actually the username we used during login. This is our test case. Okay, so let's start how this is the manual way, right? How we can automate it. So for this kind of activity, you know that every page is actually made of HTML, right? This, if you see this page, this is in a pure HTML. Every web page you see on the online port or online space is basically an HTML. Start with HTML tag, ends with HTML tag. Inside that we have header, we have body, right? But everything starts with HTML, ends with HTML. So if we need to interact with HTML elements, we do it via those HTML elements tag. So for button, there is a tag called button. For division, there is a tag called division, right? You can see there are a lot of tags. These are the divisions, right? Similarly, buttons for text box, there is a tag input and so on. So whenever we are trying to interact with anything in the web page, we do it via HTML. And for that, we create Xpath. Okay, Xpath. Like if we have to click on this particular element, you can click on inspect this particular option, select particular element, and then select this element. So what we want is after opening the website, we want to click on this element, right? So we are inspecting this element. So now you can see this is under a list tag and this is an hyperlink. A means anchor tag. This is an hyperlink under a list tag. Okay, so you can create XPath using various ways. The first one is it's here itself, right? You can create your XPath and verify the XPath is correct by writing your expression here, or there are tools where you can automatically find the XPath. So if you look into this, there are multiple ways you can find this XPath. I can say, go to the body slash, then div slash header, then div, and so on till slash li slash a. But this is called an absolute XPath. You're going in a tree structure one by one. Go here, then here, then here, then here, and so on. But the problem with this XPath, so what it looks like, you can see here. If you see copy full XPath, this is the XPath looks like. Under HTML, go to body, under body, go to div, then header, then div again. Second element of div, then navigator, then div, then UL, then li, seventh item, and then a. This is an absolute XPath. The two kinds of XPath. First, you go one by one till you reach that element. Okay, one by one till you reach that element. Second, what's the problem with this is, let's say in future a new element is added, because when you work on a live projects keep on changing. A new section is added here, right? Let's say we have a new section called clients, or we have a new section called prospective customers, and so on. As soon as you add that, it will fail. Okay, because if you add that before this, it will change, because now it is not li7, it will be li8. So that's why it is not a good activity to write an absolute XPath, because there is a lot of dependency on each element. Anything between any item added here, then this XPath will fail. So for that purpose, we try to write XPaths ourselves using expression and operators and methods. So XPath supports all those things. You can have the operators like and or. You can have operators methods like text, contains, all those things, length, all those things, right? You can also have the access. So I can say, go to this element, give me the parent of this, or go to this element, give me the child of this, and so on. We will see that in relative locators more. But now let's try to create an XPath which is independent of this tree structure. Okay, so for that, we know that this is an hyperlink which has a text, right? Which has a text login. Okay, so XPath / will give the whole HTML for you. And let's say, because this is an hyperlink, I want to find all the hyperlinks in the page. I will say A. So now I know there are 47 hyperlinks here. Okay, 47 hyperlinks. Let me maximize a little bit. 47 hyperlinks there. Okay, so if I go one by one, you would keep seeing that all those hyperlinks are actually shown here. Right, all those hyperlinks means this is a link to different page. Right, now my task is to find the hyperlinks which has content or which has a text login. Right, so for that, XPath has a method called text. Right, so if you see this particular element, you can see the text is this. So when you say equal, you have to provide the whole content. But the problem with the whole content is, again, if something is added or removed in this particular text, it will again fail. So I will not use equal here. I will use contains. So if I say login contains login, it would be much better compared to, let's say, whole XPath, right? So again, for that, we have contains. So I can say contains text okay. So now I can add any text here and it will be independent of this tree structure. So for any link, if that link has some text, I can use this particular XPath. I just have to replace the text with whatever text I want to search. So in this case, we want to search for login, right? So I will just write log in. Got it? So that's how you can create your XPaths. When you say equal, then you have to use equal operator, something like that. Now you need to make sure when you are doing this, when you're interacting with the HTML elements, you're seeing this 1 out of 1, that it is unique. Otherwise, if it is more than 1, then it will fail during your script. It will fail because it will always click the first item. That's why it's important that when you are writing XPath, you are writing an XPath in a way that it is uniquely identifiable in the HTML web page. All right. Hopefully it is clear, guys. Any question on this? How to find XPath? There are different ways. This is I created myself, and then later on I will tell you there are tools also for this. So we got the XPath for this login. Okay. Now, once we click on login, the second XPath we need is this username. Okay, username. So now to identify elements, there are multiple ways in Selenium. One of the ways XPath, which we have seen here. The other ways is other attributes of this particular element. So here you can see in the last element, if we did not have, wait, let me remove this so that you can clearly see. So in this element, you can see there is an ID and there is a class also for this particular HTML path. See, so there is a name, there is a class, and there is an ID. All these are called attributes of a tag. So this is a tag, input tag. and it has attributes like size is equal to 30, placeholder is equal to this, type is equal to this, ID is equal to this, and so on. So you can create XPath on any attributes you want. Okay, but Selenium provides few attributes where you can identify all those elements in the web page. So first one is ID, which is the fastest, then the name, second fastest, right? Then the class, okay, then the tag name, then XPath, and then CSS selector. But or in fact, with after class, you can also, after name, you can say attribute. So I will tell you more about this, but these are the different ways you can identify an elements in Selenium. So whenever you see there, if ID and name is present, then or class is present, but that is unique. So always, whenever you see ID and name, try to use that. Otherwise, because mostly they will be unique. Otherwise, try to create your own XPath or try to have like your own operator with XPath, like class is equal to this and name is equal to this. Sometimes you have to have or condition or and condition, okay, and so on. So here, if you see, we have already have ID. So the XPath of for this particular element, we will be using ID. Similarly, for password, we have password. These two have ID, so we will use IDs for this. Username, password. Now let's come to login. Okay. So in login, if I say button, simple enough is basically I will just replace A with button and contains text with login without space. Right. Let me refresh page. And replace this login content. You can see. Okay. Now this button also has one other property, type is equal to submit. Why did not I not selected this rather than text? Because attribute are actually more faster compared to text. But the problem is if I say at the rate, let's say we have to add an XPath based on any attribute, you will say at the rate and the attribute name and then value, submit. Problem with this is there are two elements here, right? One is actually registration and then the second one is login. So that's why I did not selected this, even though it had the one other property called type. So type is equal to submit is presence twice, then that's why I went to text. So you have to just see the particular element and based on the characteristics, try to create your XPath. Okay. So this is the fourth XPath. So I'm creating all those XPath based on the scenario we have in hand. So final would be after login, we want to verify the username. This. Okay. This is a username, but the problem with this is it will change with particular user. So I cannot say text contains strong contains text full stack demo because it will change compared to the earlier part because the content will remain constant. It will change based on the user. So I cannot say that. So these kind of things, this is where we use relative locators and Selenium does provide it. Also earlier also like right now also we use access, like we can say that find me an XPath where it is present under learn dashboard class and following strong, the next strong, give me that XPath of that. So here you can see there's no other attribute is present and the text is present, but text I cannot use because this will keep changing. So what I will do, I will go to this div section, and from this div section, because that's the only part which is used in bold or strong characters, I will get the strong tag, right? So for this, so I will try to create an XPath based on this. So let's say this is the XPath of div. So I will say div at the rate ID is equal to this. Okay, I'm here, and then I need the next. So for that, we can use following next bold character. Got it? I got 1 out of 1. Right? So you can use following, and there are other also like child, parent, ancestor, sibling. There are different options. And following is this. If you use backward, you use preceding. So backward for preceding. Ancestor for, let's say we are here and we want the ancestor, which is this, then this. Okay. And child, let's say we are here and there are multiple paragraph tags, then the child one, and so on. So, but I think following and the preceding are the most useful because you either want the next element or the previous element. And for the similar stuff, we have relative locators now as a functionality in Selenium. So this is the final XPath we have. So we found all those XPaths. Okay. Now it's time to write the automation script. As I said, to set up, we need a project. So we will be using, so let me tell you what we will be using. So we will be using Maven. Maven help us to manage dependency and manage builds. Okay, dependency because we need third-party libraries like Selenium, WebDriver Manager, Chrome Driver. All these things are dependencies. So to manage them, we need Maven. Otherwise, what will happen? I can download them as a Java project and use in my local system. But when I give this project to somebody else, then it will create an issue because that person again have to download all those libraries. But with Maven, when you give a Maven project to somebody else, it will install all those libraries automatically once he install the project in their IDE or Eclipse or IntelliJ or whatever IDE they are using. So that's where dependency management and build system becomes easier with Maven. Okay, so for, as you can see, we need some verification on assertions also in our test case. So for that, we will be using TestNG. TestNG is kind of your test management tool. It will give you flexibility to manage your test cases, add assertions, execute your test cases. So anything related to test cases, it's actually done here. Of course, Selenium help us to automate browser, right? Browser stuff. So whatever we are doing on browser, it actually done through Selenium. Then Chrome driver. So Selenium actually interact with Chrome to run our scripts on Chrome or any other browser like Edge or Firefox. So every browser has different driver. For this demo, we'll be using Chrome. So Chrome actually directly cannot connect to Chrome. Sorry, Selenium does not connect directly to Chrome. It connects via driver, and this is where we need that particular driver. So in this case, Chrome driver. So Selenium connects with Chrome, and Chrome then sends commands to Chrome driver, then send commands to our system Chrome, which we have. And we need WebDriver Manager. Why we need this? So what will happen? Your Chrome driver actually needs to be same as your system browser. So let's say right now, my system browser version is 96. I need the Chrome driver version also as 96. But you know that Chrome updates regularly. Every 2 weeks, the version is updated. So it's very tedious to download and change your Chrome driver every time. So for solving this purpose, we have WebDriver Manager. It automatically looks for Chrome in your system. And if it is different from Chrome driver, it actually downloads the Chrome driver as same as whatever is present in your system, and then run your script on that particular throw. Okay, so this is where it helps us. Yeah, I think that's it. This is what we need for this demo. Okay, let's start. So for creating a project, it's pretty simple. You have to just say file, new project, and then select Maven project. Okay. After next, you will find which archetype. So Maven actually provides you templates. So you don't have to like create everything from scratch. It will give you some templates. So for our automation project, the good template is basically this: give you two packages, one in main, one in source, and one test, and one classes, and so on. So quick start, Java quick start is a good package. This one, Java quick start architect. So you can select this template and then say next. So let's say I will name this as DAS 2021, right? Webinar DAS 2021. What is this? So group ID is kind of your company name, and artifact ID is kind of your project name. Okay, so let's say, so this Maven is an universal repo where companies put their code so that other people can use. So let's say you're working on a project for a company, which is, you need to like make it open source. So you can put your company name here and then the project name here. This is what is happening here. And then you say finish. I cannot wait everyone to finish this because this needs very good internet. Because what happens when you create that, it actually downloads all the dependencies related to that template we selected. Okay. So what I will do, let me show you guys what happens when I do this. I think it is already created. Yes. So if you have a very good internet, it will take very less time. Otherwise, it can take some time. Okay. Let me quickly refresh this. See, if you're a slow internet, it can take some time also. Okay. Okay, you can see there are two folder, main and resources, right? In resources, you put your files, etc. When we work on a long project, you will notice that main, and then if you want, you can create a test folder separately to create test cases. For this purpose, we're gonna use this particular class to write our test case. Okay, I will delete everything here. And if you guys quick enough, you would see this. And this form file is very important. This form file actually adds your dependencies, etc. All right. So for what happens is basically all those dependencies are present here in Maven Universal Repository. Okay, so let's say I need a Selenium repo. I can just search for Selenium, and you can see that here. As you can see, latest version is 4. It is recently released, okay, in September, and we're trying to use this one today. It's quite new. So Selenium Java, because we are using Java as a language, we are gonna use this. So I just have to copy this and paste it here, and keep seeing this progress bar. It will be downloaded as soon as you paste something here. Oh, I don't see a dependency tag here. Okay, wait guys. Okay, let me show you the dependency tag and everything it looks like. This is what it looks like. So this is what dependency tag looks like. So I will add all this. So you know now what I can use. So as I said, these are the different. Similarly, you will look for WebDriver Manager. For the time constraint, I'm gonna use this. Now you know, but you just have to search anything. So let's say for Chrome driver, you will search Selenium Chrome driver. Okay. This one and add it. So for time constraint, I'm gonna use the built-in dependency, which I already have. So these are the different dependencies I'm gonna use from dependencies to dependencies section. And you can see this is the Guava dependency, which is required for Selenium. That's why we have it. TestNG, as I said, for our maintaining our test cases. WebDriver Manager for maintaining our Chrome driver. Selenium, obviously, for Selenium. And Chrome driver for Chrome driver and Chrome connection. Okay, so I will just paste this here. And now as soon as I do that, you will notice something happens in this section. I will show you. Okay, so if I clean this project, you will notice, see, it is actually downloading all those dependencies for me. My internet is very fast. It's around 100 Mbps, so it is very fast. So for some of you guys, it can take some time. Okay, so this is what we need for all those dependencies section. I'm going to paste this in again in code section so that later on you can actually take it from here. Obviously we are gonna share the project also, but if you're doing with me, you can actually add your project section like this. Just replace the names if you are having different name. Okay, so I believe project wise we are ready. We just have to like write a test script now for testing out. We can just say test. That's how you write your test cases in TestNG. Let it complete, is still downloading some things. Any question in the meantime? Any question you guys have?
Okay, so while we're waiting, for those of you who want to ask to Mr. Chandan, it's okay for all participants.
Yeah, Tata, does anyone have questions till now? Oh, Mega, can you share your screen? Maybe you can look for quick start if you don't find Java.
Okay, wait a second. I think I can't share screen right now because my laptop is there's some trouble. I just can share. There is
Okay.
filter like the artifact ID.
Okay, let me show you a different way then. If you guys facing issues searching for Java, let me show you a different way while this is downloading. Just select new project and then Maven project. And in this screen, rather than Java, you can also search for quick start. Okay, quick start. What's your name? Mega something? So can you search quick start?
Yes, Mr.
Can you see results now in quick start?
Yes, there Maven Architect quick start.
Yeah, so now in quick start, try to find out the Java project if you can see that. So go, can you see that now?
No, Mr. There's no Java project.
What do you see right now?
Maven Architect quick start.
Oh, Maven archetype.
Yes.
Wait. Let me see if satisfy our. Cannot share screen. Can you type the name of full name of artifact ID which you see? I can help you select that.
Okay. Wait a second, Mr.
You can also select this archetype quick start. Yeah, you can select that actually. I think this is what you mean by that, right? Maven archetype quick start.
Yes, Mr.
Yeah, this will also work. Let's start with this for the demo purpose also. Webinar 2, let's say 2 dash 2021 project 2. Webinar is our company name and project 2 is our project. So if you see, the structure will be kind of the same here. If you don't see all the files, see, it's actually compared to better than the quick start Java version. You have one test folder which you need to select in the Java. Mega, can you see that? So it's kind of the same. You can just replace this code here.
Oh, okay. Wait, Mr.
Same, no issues. You can select anything. The demo purpose of this is basically not create all this. You can create yourself also, okay, by rather not selecting any template. But when you select a template, these files and folders are automatically created. See, everything is created automatically. And then you just need to add dependencies in dependencies section. So in our case, we can just remove these two dependencies and add our own custom dependencies. Okay, Mega.
Okay, Mr. I can already
I
follow
can
the
use
rest
your
of them.
project, latest project only.
Okay,
So
thank you.
the dependencies I think we need is so we need dependencies from here. Or let me copy that from here. Okay, Mega, clear?
Clear, Mr. Thank you.
No issues, no issues. You can select any quick start template, Java or Maven archetype, it should work. And then change your dependencies. So here we need these dependencies for our purpose. So just add these dependencies and replace these dependencies in your POM file. Sorry. But obviously it can take some time to download all those things. So you have to wait for that. Okay. And just then after that, you just have to delete this and add your test case based on test-ng public void test login. And then wait for everything to finish and then it will automatically appear. See, now it is appearing. Now we don't have to use Jupyter one. Make sure you're using JUnit one. Always use JUnit one. Oh, sorry, test-ng one. For anyone, it is complete. It is taking more time compared to earlier. Okay, anyone else having problem while this is loading up?
Baik, untuk yang mengalami problem atau masalah isu-isu yang mau di-consult untuk Mr. Chandan, boleh ada yang ingin bertanya kepada Mr. Chandan apabila ada trouble yang dihadapi?
You can share your screen if you have any problem.
Okay, so it seems like all participants doesn't have any issue so far, Mr. Chandan.
Okay, so let's carry forward. While it is downloading, we can still write scripts. Okay, let me reshare. Okay, so while wait, you have to wait for completely once this process is completely done. You're seeing it is keep downloading code and files and so on. So you have to wait for till for this process to finish to see anything correctly. But we can still write the script, start writing script. So you know, for test ng we need test tag, and make sure when you see that, need to use this thing, org.testng. Okay, this is the organization name and this is the annotation, org.testng. Annotations is like your condition, pre-condition, post-condition you have in functional testing. That is what we have here. Select that. Okay, and then you can see it is printing hello world, right? So means the setup is almost ready. Okay, it's downloading some Java doc file, so that is not that important. And just to check the test ng is working, we have assertion true false. Okay, so you see result will be shown. Now some people may not see this. Okay, run and debug option. So you may have to right click and say run as test ng. Okay, and maybe some people may not see run as test ng. Then you have to download the test ng version. Oh, test ng plugin for Eclipse. So for that you can just say help install new software and put the link, test ng link here. I forgot the link. Wait. So this is a complete tutorial. If you want to like set up Eclipse, sorry, test ng in your Eclipse, and this is the link. Okay. So just go to your help, then install new software, and then put that link here. It will point to the test ng. If you did bad gateway example, you can also add the, so basically in this we are using 6.14, so you can say this. Not working. Wait, okay. It keeps changing, so every 1 or 2 months we have to change it. Right. Where is the link? Wait, guys, okay. Okay, now the link is this. It keeps changing. See, you see test ng, just select and finish out the process. Okay. Because all of them is installed already, for me, it is not showing up next button, but for you guys, it will show. So use this URL. Okay. And we will also share this URL with you guys, and restart your Eclipse later on after that. Then you will see this option, run and debug. Now we have to write the test scripts. Let's start. Any questions so far?
Baik, untuk partisipan yang ingin bertanya dipersilahkan. Sejauh ini untuk proses dari trialnya nih, bagaimana teman-teman, ada yang ingin ditanyakan?
No? Okay. So as I said, first of all, we need our Chrome driver, so which can interact with our Chrome. So for that, we use WebDriver Manager. So we'll say Chrome drive, because we have to set up the version, Chrome drive version same as Chrome. So we will use WebDriver Manager, Chrome driver.setup. Set up everything for me. I don't want to like download Chrome driver based on my Chrome version. Once that is done, I will create a Chrome driver object. So this is class and this is its object. Okay, if you see this, this is the class and this is its object. So I'm making a Chrome driver object so that I can invoke Chrome browser related commands like open URL, all those things. So this driver is actually very important. All the commands will run on this particular object. Okay, so now I will add my first command, which is opening web page, which is done through get command. Okay, see, loads a new web page, get command. Just give it the URL. So for me, it is test.automasi.com. Okay, once that is done, we need to interact with login element, right? That's the first part. We need to click on, where is our website? We need to interact with this element, right? So for that, we have find element command in Selenium, find element. And by, as I said, there are different ways: link text, ID, CSS selector, class name, tag name, Xpath, name. So in this case, we identified that we will be using name, sorry, Xpath. And the Xpath is, I think we have everything here. Xpath is this. So we found the element. Once the element is found, we want to click on it. So for that, we have click method. Okay. So the first thing is done. We are here now. And then we have to like find the element. Find the username and password element and type something on this, right? Type username and password. So let's save the username and password in a variable for easy data management. And same commands, driver.find element. Instead of click, to type something, we have send keys. Okay, to type something, we have send keys. So we will typing the username, right? So send key is username, and rather than Xpath this time we are using ID because ID is present, right? Similarly for password, we are using password. And then again we have to click the button, so that again Xpath related, and then we have to just copy paste whatever we found in button. And then after that we have to verify that username is equal to whatever we find on that page, profile page, right? Find element by.xpath. What XPath? This XPath, the dashboard XPath. And to get something, we have get text command. Okay, guys, get text command. To extract the content from string or content from elements, we have get text command. These are the three important commands: click, send keys, and get text to perform most of the action on a web page. Okay, and find element to find elements. It's pretty like this. This is done like this is what we are actually here to write for our verification of test login, right? So I'm gonna paste this script. So now you will notice this script will fail because of one thing called timing management or synchronization. Because sometimes based on the internet connection, loading of web page can take time. So it is opening the Chrome driver. Now it will try to click on login. And then it clicked on full stack and login click, but it failed. Why? It is saying that the XPath is wrong. What happens with the XPath? Oh, unable to locate, right? You saw the error, invalid selector, unable to locate element. Syntax error. I think we have some syntax error. Okay, got it. There is an error, guys. We missed out this particular thing. Let's run it again. So this bracket has started but did not end. Okay, it worked. But if you're in slow connection, it may take some time and it can fail. It can fail, right? So for that, we have time management. And that can be done. Two things, the browser is also not fully maximized, right? So that we can do using driver.manage command. So max driver.manage.timeouts dot implicit weight. There are two weights. I think in the full webinar we will notice, we will see that in detail. Implicit weight here, let's say I want every elements before throwing no element found exception, I want 60 seconds polling. Okay, so for that we have this command. Implicit weight, explicit weight, we'll see that in the, because I'm using implicit weight because with this, it can work for every element. Implicit weight work for every element, and duration in second. So with this script, our web test case is done. Also, guys, our timing is also done, right?
Yes, Mr. Chandan, unfortunately.
So this is how you can actually use Selenium 4 to create your XPaths, find locators, and perform your test script action and write a automatic automation test case for yourself. Okay. Obviously, when in a longer webinars, we will see how to write better code. It is not a good way to write everything in here. Like there should be a proper way to manage our test data. There should be a proper way to manage our XPath. So for that, we use page object model. For managing data, we use databases or Excel sheets. Okay. And for managing this kind of setup, etc., we use separate classes, interfaces, abstract classes, and so on, which is part of a longer webinar. But this is the power of Selenium 4 we have seen today, right? And this is how you can write an end-to-end test automation script using Selenium 4. Okay, I am open for any questions you guys have. And as I said, this project will be given to you guys. If you are, if you want to try it out yourself, I'm pasting the whole code here. I think if you can access this page, everything is present here, right? So the whole code is actually present here now. Okay, Tata, you can carry on.
Okay, Mr. Chandan, thank you so much for the insightful session. But before we jump into the question and answer session, we're going to have a photo session first. So everyone, kindly turn on your camera so we can do a photo session.
Now I can also turn on. Yeah.
Okay, so everyone, once again, can we turn on your camera? So we're going to have a photo session.
Yeah, photo session, then questions.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything.
So
anything
the photo
related
session
to testing and automation. And then we will tell you like about our longer webinars and longer courses where you can see a lot of this, because see in 1 hour, 1 hour or 2 hours, it is very difficult to do everything, right? Because of time constraint, also helping someone, because there are a lot of people may not be having to create project in time. Sometimes your internet is slow, so setup takes time. There are a lot of issues which we cannot solve in within 1 hour webinar. But we do that in longer webinars like 8 hours webinar or 2 months, 3 months courses. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Thank you so much, Mr. Chandan. So we're going to have a photo session. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, say cheese. Okay, once more. 1, 2, 3, cheese. Okay, can we do a thumbs up like this? Thumbs up pose?
So victory.
Or like this? It's okay, fine. Okay, thank you, Mr. Chandan. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you very much for this photo session. So we're going to jump into the question and answer section. So for those of you who wants to ask, can you you can raise your hand or just put it in the chat box. We can have both Bahasa and English, but we prefer English. Okay, so Mr. Chandan, earlier I have questions from the participants. I already put it in your Gdocs as well, but let me read it. So, Mr. Chandan, why you suggest must using Java 8? Why not the latest Java? Thank you, Mr. Chandan. The time is yours to answer.
Latest, I'm saying 8 is the recommended because some people have old machines. Okay, in old machines, Java 14 or 15 latest version may not be supported. 8 plus is necessary. 8 is the minimum, because otherwise a lot of features of Selenium and Java like hash map, etc., we cannot use. So 8 is the minimum version. I suggest 8, but you can use 8 plus, any version after 8 plus. Latest I don't suggest, because if your machine is not the latest one or not having enough RAM or enough memory, it can cause issue. Okay, 8 is the minimum. You can have the latest also, no issues with that. Same code will work on Java 14, 15 also.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Chandan. So let me repeat in bahasa. Jadi untuk Java 8 itu hanya minimumnya ya teman-teman. Jadi teman-teman boleh menggunakan Java yang sudah terbaru dan terupdate gitu. Semoga terjawab untuk pertanyaannya. Baik, we jump into the next question. Hi, Mr. Chandan. Selenium can collaborate with Jira. So if we run with Selenium, report can be related with Jira test case.
Yes, this is what we do actually in FinExcel. Okay, but for that we need to have some API automation knowledge. So Jira is having an APIs, public APIs. So what you can do after your test? So first of all, if you have a Jira, you write your test cases based on Jira. Okay, so let's say there is a Jira ID. Okay, let me show you one of my example for my project. I'm sharing screen? No, right? Okay, wait. So this is what a Jira looks like. Okay, so this is our project dashboard. So here every task you see is basically related to the Jira task. So this is a task created by the product team. Okay, this is a task created by the product team, and as soon as this task is deployed, a task for us is created here in our project. Okay, and then we work on this particular task, and once it is done, we mark it done. And I'm sure you're talking about once we automate and execute our test cases, whether we can send back our test case results, pass, fail here or not. So for that, we have the Jira APIs. Using Jira APIs, you can say if test case result status is true, mark this test case fail, or sorry, pass in test case result tool Jira or test rail. Otherwise, mark it passed or failure. We do that with our Jira is not a good example for that, but test rail is. So we do that with our test rail system.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Chandan, for the answer. We're going to move on to the next question from Eriko. Hi, Mr. Chandan. What is the difference with Selenium 4 and Selenium 3?
Yeah, so the main difference is Selenium 4, Selenium 3 were using JSON protocol APIs. Now you have moved to the web protocol, and then some new features are added here. As I said, we can access Chrome DevTools like console logs, networks. Unfortunately, due to the time constraint, we cannot show that, but you can do that actually in Selenium 4. You can create tabs directly, windows and tabs like new tab, new window, all those things directly in Selenium 4. The grid functionality when you need to run multiple test cases parallelly. Now grid is no longer is difficult to manage. You can easily configure that using Dockers. Selenium grid is pretty easier. Okay, so these are the main differences, and you can go through the other differences in Selenium website. I can give the link in chat. Okay. Next, Tata.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chandan, for the answer. Next question. Okay, Mr. Chandan, what's the difference between using Selenium and Catalan? Which one is easier? The time is yours, Mr. Chandan, to answer.
Catalan is a tool where you don't need to write code. Okay, so that pretty much easier. It is a record and playback tool. Where in Selenium you have to write a code. But I will tell you one thing. There are lot of use cases where Catalan may not be supported fully. Okay, so I will prefer, so because when you work with Catalan, there are a lot of dependency on Catalan only. You cannot do outside stuff. And also Catalan for a very hard, very long project or heavy project is not recommended. Starts to hang, does not work properly. Okay, Xpaths are not consistent, which you create, which can create yourself. If you need to have if else loop, while loop logics, right, that is not visible. Management of threads, management of test data is not like feasible like we can do in via code. So I would suggest that if you are like interested in coding and want a long-term automation or working on a long-term automation project, start with Selenium. And the biggest advantage is it is free. So open source compared to Catalan, which is a paid. Only the desktop version is free for Catalan, but when you go for CI/CD, it is not free. Okay, you cannot run it on CI/CD servers, unlike Selenium, which you can combine it with Jenkins and run it in free in your servers.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Chandan. So let me repeat in bahasa. Jadi untuk yang Catalan itu berbayar ya teman-teman, dan mungkin untuk project-project yang berukuran besar itu mungkin tidak supported. So lebih prefer ke Selenium. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Chandan. We're going to move on to the next question. So the question is, I want to ask a question. Do Eclipse and Selenium 4 support for login page with Captcha? Since from what I know, we must run the Captcha manually on Selenium IDE. Okay, the time is yours, Mr. Chandan, to answer.
No. Captcha and Captcha 2 are all so these actually made for not for detecting automation tools. These features Captcha and Captcha 2. So Selenium is not meant for Captcha. So what we do for Captcha in staging environments, we run scripts and to disable Captchas in staging environment. And from production, we can say disable this for particular user. Okay, so the only way is to disable it. It is not. So there is a way you can do it, but that is not a recommended way. What happens is actually you can extract the image and extract the content of image and then write the Captcha items in your text box. But that is not a recommended way because extraction or OCR image technology is not that advanced. So let's say if you're working with Amazon SDKs or Amazon service, AWS services, it will be very difficult to log in on Amazon with the Captcha enabled functionality, or a matter of fact in Google, because you don't know when it will appear and what will be kind of Captcha we have. Even human faces issues while solving Captcha too, like select buses and select cars or select something. So it's very difficult for human also. So it is not recommended to use Selenium for Captcha related stuff.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Chandan, for the answer. We're going to move on to the last question, I believe, because there's no question left. Hi, Mr. Chandan. Can Selenium handle automation testing for mobile app? Okay, the time is yours, Mr. Chandan.
Not Selenium, but we have APM for that. Okay, the commands also remains the same apart from the new commands like touch actions. Okay, touch screen, switching between apps and so on, app opening app and deleting app and so on. So we have APM. Some commands remains the same, but we have an APM alternative. This is also free, and lot of your code actually can be reused in APM. Like click send command, send keys, and get text etc. commands works on APM also.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Chandan. Dan Mr. Chandan juga sudah berbagi link di kolom chat. Mungkin teman-teman yang ingin langsung aja menggunakan untuk linknya. Okay, so wait, I think we have follow-up question from Mr. Rian. Mr. Rian asked, is that Selenium same with Cucumber?
No, Cucumber is different. So there are multiple ways to work on project related to test cases. One is TDD, test-driven development. So you can either develop your feature based on your test cases, or you can develop your feature based on behaviors. So BDD and TDD are two approaches. And if you are working on a company where BDD is followed, then Cucumber to make sure that you can actually integrate that with Selenium and TestNG and follow the BDD process in your company. So Cucumber actually gives you flexibility of following a BDD approach. So you write all those scenarios in a feature file and then run it using Cucumber runners. So it's not Selenium, it's completely different. Selenium automates browser. Cucumber makes sure that, gives the functionality to let's say add your BDD process within your Selenium and TestNG code.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Chandan. So the Cucumber and Selenium has a very quite different function itself, right? Okay, so thank you so much for everyone's question. Is there any last question, you guys? It's okay if there are any follow-up questions. Okay, I see, I got it. Thank you, Mr. Chandan. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Ian, for the follow-up question. And thank you so much for a very interactive Q&A session. Thank you for everyone's active participation and enthusiasm in this webinar. But unfortunately, we have reached to the closing session. Once again, we would like to express our appreciation to Mr. Chandan for the outstanding session. Hopefully, everything we learned today is going to be useful. Thank you, Mr. Chandan. Have a very great weekend ahead. Okay, so Mr.
Thank you,
Chandan.
Tata.
Sure. Mr. Chandan, can you share screen? Yeah, okay, thank you. Sure. Okay, let me continue in bahasa. Baik, bagi teman-teman semua yang masih penasaran nih sama QA automation, aku masih belum puas Kak, belajarnya 1 jam 2 jam aja begitu. Nah, teman-teman boleh banget nih langsung kepoin Full Stack QA Automation Bootcamp by Jakarta Labs. The class is going to be 2, ada weekend dan weekday class. Untuk weekend class akan dimulai pada 15 Januari sampai 20 Februari 2021 pukul 9 pagi hingga 12. Kemudian ada weekday class yang akan dimulai pada 26 Januari sampai 25 Maret 2022. Yang akan diadakan pukul 19.30 sampai 21.30. Jadi pas banget buat teman-teman nih yang mau weekend tapi mau produktif, boleh banget belajar sama Jakarta Labs tentang Full Stack QA Automation. Dan buat teman-teman yang, aduh aku masih kerja, masih ada magang dan sebagainya, boleh banget nih ikut di weekday class yang diadakan malam, yaitu pukul 19.30 sampai 21.30. Nah, cara daftarnya bagaimana? Teman-teman boleh aja langsung ngeklik link yang sudah dibagikan, nanti akan ada link yang akan didirect langsung ke narahubung dari Jakarta Labs, yang akan dibagikan langsung kepada teman-teman. Dan kalaupun misalnya masih mau yang cepat nih ya teman-teman, aku nggak mau klik linknya, boleh banget teman-teman bisa aja langsung cek di Instagram @jakartalabs dan di LinkedIn Jakarta Labs, boleh aja langsung nge-DM akun Instagram kita dan langsung tanya-tanya tentang Full Stack QA Automation Bootcamp dari Jakarta Labs. Dan tentunya program ini itu bisa benar-benar membantu teman-teman untuk belajar lagi tentang Full Stack QA Automation. Kapan lagi nggak sih belajar sama masternya langsung yang sudah bertahun-tahun di bidangnya? Oke, luar biasa banget nih. Nah, baik kita sudah menuju ke penghujung acara. Bagi teman-teman semua yang masih penasaran dan ingin mengikuti kelas diadakan oleh Jakarta Labs, langsung saja kepoin Instagram kami di @jakartalabs dan LinkedIn Jakarta Labs. Karena tentunya Jakarta Labs akan mengadakan kelas, webinar, dan kursus-kursus lainnya yang nggak kalah kece dengan pembicara yang nggak kalah keren. Baik, saya Pralya Pertiwi atau Tata pamit undur diri. Mohon maaf apabila ada hal yang kurang berkenan. Kurang lebihnya mohon maaf. Terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sampai jumpa di webinar Jakarta Labs berikutnya. Thank you everyone. Have a great weekend ahead.
Thank you everyone.
Thank you. Baik untuk teman-teman semua karena acara webinar sudah selesai. Dipersilakan untuk dapat keluar dari ruang Zoom dan melanjutkan aktivitas. Terima kasih. Thank you so much, Mr. Chandan.